It's not freezing, though, in Lubbock, Texas, and that's where we go right now, where we now are joined by College Game Day's very own Jay Williams inside the USA. Jay, will really appreciate the time, man. Looks like a nice, warm welcome for you there in Lubbock.
It is. You know, my guy Sean, I heard him being a little bit soft from the West Coast. Come on, Sean, come to this East Coast. Let's do this together, okay? Don't let the snow frighten you. You'll be okay. We got you. We got you locked in.
Jay, I am not okay, and I'm okay with not being okay. You have to understand your strengths and weakness. KYP, know your personnel, kid. I'm from California. I ain't going to get used to this.
Know your personnel.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Farney. That makes sense. KYP works all day long.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Jay, well, let's get you started here because it has been such a great first half of the season. So many great storylines, whether it be the elite freshmen, scoring is at an all-time high. But what has been your favorite to follow along with as we enter the back half of the year now?
Well, I think there's two storylines. Number one is something that's personal with me just because I'm watching it in real time. And when I play with the Chicago Bulls, there was a guy who shot lights out every single day in practice, and his name was Fred Hoiberg. And to watch his time at Iowa State and now to watch everything that he's doing at Nebraska, to watch Nebraska be a top 10 team, I think it's one of the best stories. Nobody's really talking about it as much, but the style in which they play, how they play is one of the most exciting things. And then, look, I think this is a really big-time matchup. JT Toppin is one of the best players in the nation, going for National Player of the Year. And with Houston, the story of last year, getting into a natty game, and being up in the last 4 minutes of the game and not being able to close it out. And how many times do we ever say, we talk a lot about Cameron Boozer at Duke or A.J. DeBonta at BYU or Darren Peterson at Kansas, and they're all deserving, right? But, I mean, Kelvin Sampson is giving the ball to a freshman. And you have veterans who have played in national championship games in Sharp and Uzan that are saying, hey, in the biggest moments, Kingston Flemings, be our guy. That says something about the quality of individual and player that Kingston Flemings is. And we'll get a chance to see that in a true road environment here in a colossal knockdown game.
Jay, this is a rematch of a game we saw not that long ago. And you talk about Texas Tech, and the Big Three conversation with BYU, Texas Tech saw that last week. It's been a Big Three for Texas Tech the last couple of games, but different guys, whether it's Watts or Atwell. How important is it for the Red Raiders to get that third score to go along with Toppin and Anderson?
You need it in a game like this, especially with the Houston team. Is one of the top scoring defenses in the nation, right? Shaparni, like we talk about this all the time as former players, especially when you're here at home. Like you have to find a rhythm. Like the one thing that always travels is defensive tenacity. You know, I was talking to Jay Billis and some of these guys that got a chance to watch all practice yesterday for all 2.5 hours. I mean, the level of attention of detail that Kelvin Sampson and Houston brings to the table is something that's so unique, and that is going to travel. So the Big Three actually being on their way offensively today in a game that is going to come down to possessions, that's how you win games. I know we're going to talk basketball, guys, and I love doing that, and obviously today's a really big day. I just had a guy in a bat cape literally make a shot for $300. Do you guys mind if I just give away some money very quickly? I just want to bring a shooter down. Let's just do it for $100, Farney. Let's start off easy. I can use your money, Farney, if that's okay.
Rip up a money clip.
$100.
Wow.
Can I get a shooter just for $100? One shooter. Okay. Let's go. Big man right here. Let's go. Yep, with the hair. Come on down. Let's go.
Jay,
we'll do
Jay
one
you picked the guy furthest away from the court.
It's easy access
Look
right
at
here.
the hustle.
There we go.
Can you get a little hustle?
There we go. There you go. You got to give it a little bit of a setup here. All right. What's your name, man? Maverick?
Top Gun.
Like Maverick from Top Gun?
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm Hollywood, Maverick. Let's go. Nobody's going to catch that joke unless you're paying attention, people. Paying attention. All right, here we go. Maverick, Hollywood's going to give the pass to Maverick. $100. Here we go. Knock it in. Let's go, Mav. Top Gun, Mav. Top Gun, Mav. Top Gun, Mav. Top Gun, Mav.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, well, didn't go down, Mav. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Hey, good
but hopefully
hustle.
that's not a sign of things to come for Texas Tech offense tonight.
Can't let you go, Jay, without talking about your Duke Blue Devils. Cam Boozer has been the star of the show there in Durham so far, rightfully so this year. Just how good has he been for this Duke team?
So I said it at the beginning of the year, and people always get lost with these analogies, right? I said that he has parts of his game that remind me a little bit of Tim Duncan. And it's Tim Duncan in 2026. You know, when Carlos Boozer came to Duke, he was on the perimeter. Coach K forced him to play with his back to the basket, and obviously his game matured into the player he was when he became a perennial all-time All-Star. So, you know, we just had a 25-year reunion of our national championship game down in Durham, and Carlos was standing next to Shane Battier, and I'm like, oh my goodness, Carlos, your son is like a mixture of you too. But he's a guy that could play with his back to the basket. He's a guy that could put the ball down the perimeter. They run a lot of those inverted pick and rolls with him and smaller guards. But also his ability to make reads. He's such a great passer. You know, they need to find consistency scoring, and obviously I think they're a defensive team. Their numbers get better. But there's no doubt about it. Cameron Boozer is one of the most special players we have in the game of college basketball because of his versatility that it brings to the offensive scene.
Jay, at that reunion, the question I have for you, was there any discussion if any of you had eligibility and if there was a judge that would grant you a temporary restraining order to go back and play for the Blue Devils? What do you make about all the movement that we're seeing in Charles Bediako suiting up today for Alabama?
You know, look, Barney, it comes down to me, like, you know, rules are made to be broken, and obviously that is the case to a degree. I think we need a collective bargaining agreement. I think that's the only fix, that's the only solution. I want the best talent to stay in the game of college basketball, and I understand that everybody's making this a really big deal. I don't really hear fans complaining about Bediako coming back and playing. I hear coaches complaining, right, when it comes back to playing, and coaches that are going to have to play against him in the SEC. But the guy was averaging 6 points. It doesn't mean that there can't be a player that's averaging 35 points and then 20 rebounds, and that becomes a problem, right? But I think at some point, I ask myself, what are college athletics anymore? And what is the governing body of the NCAA? It just feels like the conferences are going to go off on their own and establish their own rules and regulations. But with those rules and regulations comes a collective bargaining agreement, which means there needs to be a players' union, which means there needs to be a representation of the players and a representation of the conference, and we need to find a way to have rev share, because we're the only professional landscape in America that has no rules or regulations to a degree. And people are finding loopholes through politicians, through people who are donating towards schools. It's a bigger problem. So, look, I love the state of the game where it allows the best players to play, but eventually we need to come down to a CBA.